Egberto, first of all, welcome to our weekly morning circus. And to get your take on how does the risk of the federal government shutdown look for a city like Houston and a state like Texas? First of all, let's just start there. What do you see on the horizon?
Well, I think with the shutdown, first of all, I've been on both sides of the issue. Should we allow it to shut down or not? How is it going to affect? Well, you asked specifically about Houston. It'll affect Houston bigly, right? Because again, we have a whole lot of governmental service. We're a big city of over 3 million people. How it'll affect the rural areas? Bigly, because their economies are actually the high income earners in their economy work for the government. On places like New York, elsewhere, it'll affect it bigly. My thing is, Democrats are so poor marketers of what's going on that it concerns me that it's so easy to put blame on them when this entire thing is really based on Democrats wanting to ensure that in October and November, when people go to pay their insurance rates, it's not anywhere from 75% to 3 times more. And nobody knows that. On my program in the mornings, when people find out what the shutdown is really about this time around, they're shocked. So I think Democrats have done such a poor job in marketing what they're asking for that there's no pressure on the Republicans to do anything about it. And as such, if it shuts down, and then let's say they decide to do a little compromise later, it's going to be, well, you see, the economy is in shambles because those guys shut this stuff down. And that's, so I don't know I'll be honest with you. I don't know where to land on what's the best procedure here, because the way I see it, either if they shut down, the Democrats are such poor marketers that they may take the blame. If they keep it open, the left flank is going to say, there you go, you caved one more time. So honestly, Jenna, I don't know. And this is one point where I say, I just don't know where to land on this one.
Of course. Just from your perspective, because I have heard that from numerous people, is that a lot of the public does not know a lot of the goings on in Washington. A lot of people just have, for a myriad of reasons, tuned out. Do you think that the Democratic Party is relying too much on, let's say, and I'll use a regional publication, even though it's national, the Democrats are relying too much on everyone reading the New Yorker or something like that, just assuming that everyone is keeping up on politics in the way that they do inside the Beltway?
I think you nailed it. I think you just nailed exactly what's wrong with the Democratic Party. And let me kind of expand on that a little bit. I am in very red Texas. We have people priming the pump all of the times, newsletters, little breakfasts, churches. All these people are there singing one message from every different platform. Is people invest in these platforms, and they reach their people in many different ways. Progressives and Democrats have a tendency to say everybody is smart. We just have to tell you this one time, and it's that way. You should know it. You don't need to do anything after that. And that's a problem. The one thing the right has learned is repetition, even if it's the repetition of lies, is effective because the repetitions of lies become truth. And I think that is something the establishment of the Democratic Party have failed at. And while the left knows that quite well, they don't have the financing to put that out as widely as the right does. And until they wake up, sometimes I wonder, Jenna, if what's going on here is that the establishment is so very establishment right, if you will, that they don't want too much for the masses, if you will, because then you know what happens when everybody gets smart. People start asking questions. Why does things work this way?
Well, speaking of such things, let's take the conversation back to good old New York City. And Laura, were you going to add something?
No, it's. I just found it funny that Adams retired, so I mean, that's
literally it. And actually, speaking of that, because there's still a lot of consternation within the legacy, let's say, Democratic Party over candidate Zoran Mamdani.
Okay,
so Egberto, I want to go back to you because when you were mentioning that if too many people start paying attention, they might start asking questions. That seems to be the fertile ground on which Zoran Mamdani's campaign has grown. And I'm wondering from your perspective, is the presence of someone like him something that perhaps more Democrats might be, to borrow a Texas phrase, afeared of?
Yes. And you know what is so great about that? First of all, let me just tell you, I love me some Mamdani. I think this guy is great. I think this guy is what any left party, whatever you want to call it, is in need of. Somebody that has no fear to tell the truth of our economics and also do it in a way that is not fearful. You notice how come the DSA stuff hasn't stuck very well on him? Because what he showed is that what he stands for, the policies he stands for, it's not something you can caricature. So it is great what he's doing. And yes, Jenna, you're absolutely right. He is a template. And by the way, they're following it all over the country from Seattle right back to Florida. We have people in every domain picking that up. And not only that, but when it's seeming to going to win in these November elections. I'm concerned because for all those that are continuing to try the establishment, you notice how the Republicans are sort of creeping up and bringing those polls number very close. We have Mickey Sherrill and that the polls are closing up. But the guys who decide that they are going to really be not the populace, but the people who support folks, they're doing very well. So I can't wait till November. I can't wait till I think Mamdani's win is going to be bigger than everybody believe. And that's going to be a big wake up call for the Democratic Party. And it's going to throw a whole lot of Democrats in the primaries.
You heard from Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, which airs on our Pacifica sister station in Houston. That's KPFT.
All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.